Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out Mandragora Whispers of the Witch Tree on the Steam Deck. And let me tell you, this game surprised me. It's dark, atmospheric action RPG with really strong visuals and a moody handcrafted world that instantly pulls you in. But as beautiful as it looks, how well does it actually run on the Steam Deck? Well, I've tested it extensively on both the OLED and LCD models across multiple settings, different FSR and XeSS options, frame rate caps, and everything. And we'll break down all of that, plus battery life, temperatures, controller support, UI support. There's a lot to talk about with this game, so let's get right into it. So, what is Mandragora? Think of it as a side-scrolling dark fantasy RPG with a heavy focus on combat, progression, and exploration. You're dropped into a crumbling world where humanity is on its last legs, and nature, magic, and nightmares have taken over. You'll be dodging and weaving through enemy attacks, facing off against massive bosses, collecting materials, crafting gear, and slowly uncovering the mysteries behind the witch tree. It's got a bit of a Salt and Sanctuary meets Blasphemous vibe, but with a bit more focus on graphics and overall art direction. Honestly, it looks stunning, especially for a game like this that's running on handheld hardware. Now let's talk performance. Starting with the lowest settings and FSR set to balanced, you can actually hit a smooth 90 FPS for most of the game. That's on the OLED model, of course, and it lasts for about 2 hours and 45 minutes of battery life. However, during boss battles where effects get heavy, you see it dip down to around 60 FPS. Still totally playable, but it is something to note. Now, the game offers XeSS and FSR, and I tested both, and I think XeSS in general looks a bit better than FSR. It has sharper edges, better texture clarity, and it does a good job, but I found that FSR offered much more stable performance, especially in those more intense areas. So in the end, I stuck with FSR and I set it on quality for the best overall visuals. Now, if you try to set it to performance or ultra performance or even balanced, you are gonna notice that things become a little bit too blurry, and the game, it just looks too good to ruin it like that with FSR. So if you can spare the FPS, I would set it to quality. You can get away with balance, but I would still set it to quality. Now, if you cap the game to 60 FPS, you stretch the battery life to around 3 hours and 30 minutes on the OLED and about 2 hours and 30 minutes on the LCD model. This is honestly the sweet spot for most people because it has great visuals, great battery life, and pretty smooth gameplay. Now, indoors, performance and battery are even better, but since the game is a mix of indoor and outdoor exploration, it's pretty hard to judge, but I'd say that a fair average is about 3 hours and 30 minutes on the OLED. Now, if you're looking to maximize battery life, capping the game to 30 FPS gives you about 5 hours and 30 minutes on the OLED and about 3 hours and 30 minutes on the LCD. It's a solid option if you don't mind the slower frame rate. Personally, for me, I found that dodging and timing my attacks is a lot trickier below 60 FPS, especially against faster enemies, so I chose to stick with at least 60 FPS. Now, all of this so far has been on the lowest possible settings, and what happens when you push the visuals at medium settings, the game can still hit 90 FPS with FSR set to balanced or quality, but dips happen a lot more and a lot more often, not just in boss fights, but regular combat too. It's still stable and totally playable, but you'll notice the frame fluctuations more. It can dip to even below 60 on boss battles. Battery life drops slightly here down to about 2 hours and 30 minutes. Now at high settings, you're looking at 70 to 75 FPS on average with the same 2 hours and 30 minutes of battery life, and this is where I highly recommend capping the game to 60. It just locks things in, smooths out any stutters, and gives you the best visual presentation without losing too much battery. Now, I also tested running at 90 Hz with a 40 FPS cap, and that gave me around 4 hours of battery life. But again, touch timing felt off, and it just didn't feel quite right to me. If you're very sensitive to input delay, I'd say stick with at least 60 FPS, but if you're looking to stretch the battery life and still enjoy some smoothness in the game, this could be an option for you. Now, one of the best things about the game is Mandragora has full controller support, and the developers even included a UI scale option specifically for the Steam Deck. This is something that I really appreciate. Out of the box, the UI can feel a bit smaller, but you can bump up the UI to make text and menus readable without squinting, and everything is fully playable with just the DeX controls, no need to mess with trackpads or any weird layouts. Also, thermals on the Steam Deck were pretty great. The deck stayed quiet and cool, never going above 75 degrees Celsius, even after long sessions. It's well optimized from a thermal standpoint, and that's not always the case with games that look this good. Now, quick pause here. If you're enjoying this breakdown and want to support the channel, hit that subscribe button. Right now, only 3.8% of you watching are actually subscribed. Let's change that. If you want to see more Steam Deck content, hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate everybody that does it. So, is Mandragora worth playing on the Steam Deck? Absolutely. This is a game I cannot recommend more. This is one of those games where performance, visuals, and gameplay all work surprisingly well on a handheld. The world is beautiful, the combat is satisfying, and there are just enough performance options to tailor the experience to your preference, whether you want max visuals or max battery life. Just avoid going below balanced FSR or XeSS, it just gets too blurry. And if you can, play at 60 FPS. With FSR set to quality, these are my recommended settings. You can play with the highest settings and cap it to 60 FPS, and this is where the game really shines. It's a smooth, immersive experience that feels made for the Steam Deck, and the fact that the devs added UI scaling for specifically for the Steam Deck, that's just icing on the cake. It really means that they thought about people are going to be playing this on the Steam Deck. So it's a really good recommendation to check out on the Steam Deck. And that's gonna be it for this one. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more Steam Deck coverage. Got a game you want me to test next? Drop it in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.